What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Wisdom Girl and Wise Woman show. It's your
Yeah.
girl, Wisdom Girl, aka Carmel Miller, and this is.
Hey, everybody. I am Wise Woman Leslie Christie.
And today we are talking about the fruit of self control.
Wow. Deep one.
So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
hmm
And tag somebody, let them know that we're on.
Yeah.
And let's get into it.
hmm
So what's up, y'all? We are diving into a topic that's so important but so overlooked: self-control.
hmm
And if you do mention it, do you even know what self-control really means, or are you just using it? Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that. It's one of those things we know that we should have, but it's not always easy to practice.
Yeah, for sure.
Guilty as charged.
hmm
Today, we are going to talk about what the Bible has to say about self-control and why it matters. How
Yeah.
it can not only shape our lives, but the lives of the people who come after us.
Mm.
But first, do us a favor, click that like button and share this episode with at least 5 people and join the conversation in the chat, and let's get into it.
Okay. So listen, let's start our discussion first with the Bible. Like let's just jump in. Okay. So Proverbs 25, verse 28 from the New Living Translation says this. It kind of paints a powerful picture, right? It says a person without self-control is like a city with broken down walls.
Oh,
Deep, I know. So it's a real vivid image, right? And it makes me think of a city without protection, a city that's just wide open to any and every attack. And so that's what it's like to live without self-control, right? So we're vulnerable to all kinds of negative influences, all kinds of negative choices, all kinds of behaviors that can leave us feeling defeated and broken. So here's the thing. Self-control is not something that we just have. You don't just you're not born with it, okay? And it's also something that you just don't have, okay? Because you can have it. You can live with self-control. If not, the Bible would not say it would not be a fruit of the spirit. But it's actually something that we grow in step by step, day by day. And so we get your song, Whitney Houston, I know. But you have to want to be, you have to want to control yourself. You have to want this fruit of the spirit in order
right,
to really live, a life that's pleasing, not just to God, of course, to God, but that helps you.
right. Self-control is a choice, you guys.
It's a
It's
choice.
a choice that
Yeah.
you make.
Yeah.
It's not something that just shows up, you know?
hmm
But why is self-control so important in our daily lives? Self-control touches everything.
Yeah. It
It
really.
affects how we handle our emotions, our relationships, our schooling,
hmm
our jobs, and our businesses, and even our health.
Yeah, for sure. For
Without
sure.
self-control, it's so easy to make decisions we regret. We regret.
Right.
We regret.
hmm
That's beautiful. We regret, and we say things that we don't mean, or act in ways that hurt ourselves and others, specifically others. But
Yeah. We can say things, really quickly when we are not in it, when we are not in control of ourselves. And I think that's something that we don't even consider. A lot of times situations happen and we just want to get our own point across. We want people to dial into us, our emotions, our own selves. And then our emotions are out of order. Our emotions are out of whack, and we say whatever, we do whatever. And we don't realize that it affects everything. Like you just said, it touches every single thing. I mean, it makes you, like, it affects your mind, it affects your emotions, it affects what you can do. Have you ever, like, been like your emotions was just off, not in control at all, and you went to school and really couldn't focus, or you were home and you really couldn't connect with family? Has it ever happened to you?
yeah, Yeah, that's happened to me on several occasions, you guys. Guilty as charged. I'm not perfect, you guys. I'm a child. I'm growing.
Well, I mean, none of us are perfect,
I'm a
but I'm,
child, but
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. So
that's
it can happen to you. It definitely happens, to me. As a matter of fact, the older you get, the more out of control you can be. Come on, Joe.
right. Because
Older people just
the
testify in the chat. The
they
older
have
you get,
no
the more out
filter.
of control you can be.
They can be
Absolutely.
speaking their opinions.
Absolutely. So, we live in a world that says, do what feels good, right? Follow your own heart. Do you, right? We live in that kind of world. It says just do you. But here's the thing, the Bible teaches us that self-control is a virtue. It's a fruit of the spirit. That is the thing we got to keep in our mind. And in our heart. It's a fruit of the spirit. Galatians 5:22-23 lists it right there along with love, with joy, with peace, with kindness. So if you're not rocking self-control, I doubt you're rocking love, joy, peace, and kindness. Like it
Right.
just
Let me tell you some things. So many people are talking about some do what feels good, follow your heart. The Bible actually says the heart is the most deceitful out of all things.
come on. Come
You know,
on.
that's just me, you guys.
Come
That's
on.
just me.
Yeah.
The Bible has no filter, and I'm for it. Be like, oh, and y'all wonder why I have no filter. Like I grew up in church, you guys. Have you heard these Bible verses?
But it's true. It is absolutely true.
The heart
And
is the most deceitful.
yeah, because if your heart is not in check, right? If you're not working on your heart, right? When I was younger, maybe your age, there was this pastor. Um, he died a long, 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 long time ago. You will not know who I'm talking about, but his name was Reverend Benjamin Porter, right?
I know who that is.
You do not. He died.
I know who that is. Yeah.
You heard somebody talk about him then?
Yeah, and I've seen a few of his like stuff on YouTube or something. Because when I was
No. This was before YouTube. He was
no,
like,
I'm saying like some people like have like actual like recordings and they just put it on YouTube. Because like what I
okay.
used to do is when I was in about 5th grade, I would say I would come home and while I would do my homework, I would listen to TD Jakes, Priscilla, Shire.
Mm-hmm.
I would listen to them preach while I'm doing my work.
Yeah.
And sometimes it would just be random people who pop up, and Benjamin Porter popped up on one of them.
Maybe it's a different Benjamin Porter. I don't know, because Benjamin Porter was like my grandfather's age, which meant is your great grandfather, your great great grandfather. I can't get it together, but yeah, because I'm your your great great grandfather. Why I can't figure this out. Anyway, but maybe you have. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is this: that he preached this powerful sermon called "Get a Heart Transplant." I will never forget.
You mentioned that sermon to me before.
Yes, listen, and it's really about what we're talking about today, like controlling yourself. Because when your heart is not right, your entire life isn't right. So
Mm-hmm. Get your heart in check before you check somebody else, honey.
Let's we got some people in the chat. I just want to give a quick shout out. Shout out to Tanisha Turton in the chat. Always with us. Thank you so much. And my good friend, my sister, Chovine Gibbs is in the chat. Yes. And so we thank God for you, and you. And for those who may be tuning in on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. And we, again, would love if you would let somebody know what we do. And we're here every Saturday at 5:00 p.m. Our shows go live. And we love for you to invite somebody in. All right, go ahead, Wisdom Girl. What else we got? What else you say?
Self-control is basically like a guardrail, basically. Like it guards us. Like it keeps us safe. It keeps us steady.
Mm-hmm.
Helps us keep our hand on the plow. If y'all don't get that reference,
yeah.
I don't know if I can get that reference and you don't. That's a very big problem. And it helps us honor God with our choices, right? Yeah. Like everything that you do has to honor God, you guys.
Yes.
When we have self-control, we're able to live in a way that brings peace and stability. Now,
Yeah. Yep.
if some people,
Yep. Oh, we should have told you that.
yeah, if you're like me, right?
What happened to your light? What's going
I have
on?
no idea.
Oh gosh, you are in the dark. Okay. Well, anyway, we
Yeah.
got Wi-Fi issues on my end and
Right.
and light issues on your end. But anyway,
Right.
let's just keep rolling.
Yeah.
It's okay. Maybe your bulb went out. I don't know. But anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, what I was saying
Mhm.
was that basically, if it basically helps us keep peace and stability, and that
Yeah.
without it, we are like a broken city,
Yeah.
like the proverb said.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. Yeah.
wide open to all kinds of attacks, from anger and jealousy to fear and temptation.
Yeah, so true. So true. Yeah. And
So
that's the I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. Go ahead.
no, go. So no, keep going.
I was going to say that's the problem with lack of self-control, that it does open us up to all these different things that draw us away from who Jesus is, away from what we're supposed to be doing. Oh Lord, now you like, okay, now we got it. Okay, we
I
good
gotta
now.
fix you guys.
You were like, I don't know, like a snowball for a second there.
A snowball.
It
That's
was
how
so
you're gonna
good.
compare me. The
It
snowball.
was right. It was mad.
Snowball.
But anyway, oh, okay. Thank you, Sister Tanisha. She said we can still hear you. And
Yeah.
all right. So wait a minute. So you wanted to say something else on that point?
No,
Because
you
I'm
keep
ready.
going. You keep going.
Okay, all right. Because I want to talk about the dangers of being out of control.
Mhm.
Because all of us have been out of control at one point or another. I mean, really, more me than you, because you got a whole lot more years to live. To get to where I am.
You guys, a
But we
whole lot
all been there. Because out of control is not just about what you say. It's not just about. It could be. Well, we're gonna talk about it. Let me not spoil it. But so when here's the thing. What happens when we don't have self-control? Okay, again, Proverbs 25:28 is a warning, right? It's definitely a warning. A city without walls is defenseless. It's exposed to danger, right? So that's what happens when we let our emotions or impulses lead us. We are out of control. Whether it's anger, whether it's jealousy, addiction, or even laziness, right? Being out of control opens the door to all kinds of trouble.
Let me tell you something. I've grown to learn that when I have younger siblings.
Yeah.
So when my sister says something that's a little, and she get mad at me, she be like, "Why are you ignoring me?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to turn the other cheek right now. I'm trying to go to heaven, you guys. I'm not going to hell for none of y'all."
Okay.
I'm trying to go to heaven, you guys. I'm trying to go to heaven. I'm not perfect, but I was like to the point where I come home and be like, I was only petty 47 times today. The Lord is working on me.
Only petty 47 times. That is hilarious.
Working on me, you guys.
But you know what? I love that. I love what you said though, because you have to, this is the thing, we have to work on it. That's why we say it's like step by step, day by day. Like you really have to tell yourself, okay, get it together, be in control, like take a breath, don't say nothing crazy. Because if you say something crazy, then the situation or the circumstance could turn into something that you really don't want to deal with. But the only thing that you're really thinking about right now is your own emotions that are totally out of control. But once you express it, oh my gosh, things can get really, really ugly and really crazy.
Don't play with fire if you don't want to get burned, you guys. When you're out of self-control, let me tell you something. You be talking that la 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 and that nya. Talking about some meet me outside, and they be like,
right.
Well, like, wait, what? Child,
right.
I grew up in a very bougie household. I'm not hood, you guys. I can't fight. I can't fight. And now next thing you know, you out here swimming. Because when you get in jail.
So you might as well just be in control.
Might as well be in control because don't pick the battle that you can't fight in. Let me tell you something. Anybody can fight, but can you win? No.
Right.
You can't win, you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't win.
My goodness. Wow. Well.
So, think about it. Mm-hmm. When we let anger control us, when we let our anger control us, we end up saying some things that hurt people that we love.
You listen. You ain't never lied. That's the truth right there.
So,
yeah.
When we're out of control with our finances, we might find ourselves in debt. I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
When we're out of control with food, it can harm our health, and the list goes on.
Yeah, for sure.
Lack of self-control leaves us vulnerable. It leaves us as an open book to anything.
Yep.
And it often leads to regret.
That is the truth. That's the truth. That is the truth.
Regret, you guys, because sometimes I do say a bunch of stuff I don't mean.
Yeah.
I'm 15, you guys. I'm in that era where I'm ready, you guys. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Well,
no, the thing is, now let me tell you, I said this, self-control, sometimes it's okay to have self-control. But me, I'm the type of person that's like, if you try me, let's go right now. Because I'm from the south side of heaven. I will beat you up. And then pray for healing afterwards. Because I was healing.
You did not say you from the south side of heaven.
I don't know. I'm from the south side of heaven. Like, I am healing, not healed.
Wait, okay.
Completely still likely if you're acting ridiculous.
You know what? That's kind of deep. I'm healing. I'm not healed. That okay. I'm gonna use that one. But it's true though. It leaves, self-control or the lack thereof hits every situation, every area of our lives, and we don't realize it. Like when we are overeating, we don't say, "Oh, I don't have self-control." We say, "Oh, I'm overeating." No, the fruit of the spirit, the fruit of self-control is missing. And it can be all the same thing, It's all the same. So wow.
Well, it needs a sin. I try not to eat as much. But let me tell you something. On that monthly, I'm gonna eat.
Oh well, that's different, girl. That's
on Thanksgiving, I'm gonna eat.
That's different.
I'm eating for the Lord, you guys. I'm eating for the Lord. Thank you, God, for this food. I'm eating for the Lord. I don't know. Y'all got food up there? You be feeding you just be. I mean, they look kind of weird looking. They don't look like they got stomach, but like still,
I think God gives women a pass, gives females a pass on
right
at that time of the month because ain't no way you can.
It's punishment. He punished Eve. Right. And then people be like, "Why are you being so gluttonous?" Someone be like, God punished Eve, not me, child. I would not have touched that fruit. A talking snake in the garden. I'm running and be like, "Yo, God, like." The snake was really trying to talk to me, and I thought that was kind of weird because, like, I don't think animals can talk. Like, I thought you were the only one who could talk to animals like that. Like, I don't think I got that gift yet, so just want y'all to know, you guys.
That's hilarious. Well, listen. Sometimes we think about it and we say, oh, it's just a little thing, but those little moments of losing control can absolutely add up. Because it's all the same thing. Like it's not, it's not self-control in this area. It's all the same fruit. It all comes from the same place. And so once you're out of control and those things start adding up, then they start to become habits and they start, becoming patterns in our lives. And before we know it, we're in a place where we never intended to be. So yeah, so that's why the Bible emphasizes self-control, because God wants us to live with wisdom. He wants us to live with wisdom so we can make choices to build us up, to prosper us, to protect us, and not tear us down.
Right, that part. And we've got to understand self-control is not about taking our freedom. It's not taking away our freedom, you guys. Free will. It's about protecting our freedom. Because let me tell you, if you're going around with free will, that will be taken advantage of. Let me tell you, I had to learn that the hard way as a child. I was 7, 6, and let me tell you something. When I was 7, I had to learn how to stand my ground, and no one has ever messed with me since. Because I've learned to get into the era where I'll be like, what would Jesus do? Jesus would flip tables. Bet. Let's go.
Y'all pray for her, please. Pray for her.
I'm not saying.
Jesus would flip tables if you were doing something contrary to what he said to do. He wouldn't just
mess with me. Therefore,
okay,
they mess with me.
Okay, well,
I try to let God handle. I'll be like, God, I'm gonna let you handle this. Think that way on the Lord shall renew their strength, and I'm trying to fly like an eagle.
But wait a minute,
but I don't think I want to fly.
You just gave me a thought here.
What?
The way you manage your self-control, or the way you try to be in control, yourself in control, or have the fruit of self-control, let me say it right, is that you speak scripture over your life, over your situation, over the circumstance.
Yeah, I write Bible
stories. That's the best way to do it, because we can't have this fruit by ourselves in our own strength, because we are completely out of control. We are sinful beings. So we begin to speak scripture over our circumstance, over our lives, then that helps us to be able to not go off in a circumstance, or to not do something that's going to displease the Father, So yeah, that's wisdom. That's wisdom. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I lost my thought. You keep going.
I'm sorry. So let's talk about the blessings that come from self-control. Okay. So here's something really amazing. When we practice self-control, right, it doesn't just benefit us. It really can create a ripple effect that impacts our families or our friends, even generations to come. And so that's the lasting fruit of self-control. So if I'm in control, I keep saying I, like we are doing it. Y'all know what I mean. Not that I have the ability, but if I am operating in the fruit of self-control, or if I have that fruit in my life, people will notice that. Like they'll say, well, why isn't she getting upset? Or how come she's able to do this, or whatever? And then they will see, oh, wait a minute. Let me see if I can pattern myself like that, or let me see if I can live like that. Because there are people who you watch and you're like, let me see if I can do that, if I can emulate that, right? Even if you don't even tell them, like just in your own mind, in your own thought, like, wow, look at how they handle that. I wish I could do it that way. So it's important for us to realize that that there is a blessing here, and it really does impact generations after us and other the people around us.
I'm trying so hard not to insert a joke in here, but because of the person that I am, I really do hope Eve is listening. Eve, hope you're listening, girl. I hope you're listening, girly pop.
You're gonna, poor Eve. I'm gonna, she's gonna have like no kind of grace at all.
I mean, I'm trying to give her grace. I honestly do give her grace, because she was like born in she showed up as an adult. Like she never really got to grow up and experience.
Good point.
Because let me tell you something. Because I know if she was like 2 years old, hearing a snake talk to her, I know she would have jetted. I know. Because they'll go like, why is this slithering, sneaky little thing?
You know what? That's deeper than you even realize what you just said. That really is.
But that she never got to grow up?
Yeah, Adam and Eve were the only two human beings who never got to grow up. Never got
As
to
it should
experience
not
certain
have.
things. Never that. Okay, that's not the show today, but we're gonna have to unpack
Yeah.
that. See what you
Guys,
got.
anytime that you feel bad that you're going through something, you guys just remember at least you got the chance to grow up.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Come on. Come on. Come on.
But when we live with self-control, we're setting an example for others to follow, you guys.
Yeah.
I tried to set an example for my classmates. I really do try, but let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
It ain't as easy as we think.
Not as easy as it looks. I try to emulate the fruit of the spirit, specifically self-control. Well, let me tell you something. I just too quick with that. I'd be like, oh my god. I'm like, oh my god, did I just say that?
You are funny.
And they're like, you're not sorry. I'd be like, I'm trying, you guys. I'm trying, you guys. I'm not perfect. Give me another decade, and I'll be okay.
Well, none of us are perfect, so
Right.
But we try.
So
We do
think
our
about
best.
a parent who exercises self-control with their words and actions.
Mhm.
They're teaching their children what it looks like to handle emotions in a healthy way, to
Yeah.
make wise choices, and to live with integrity. And those lessons are priceless.
Yeah,
They
for sure.
passed down from generation to generation.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It's not just for parents, right? Every single one of us has influence. So when we show self-control, we inspire others to do the same. So it could be a friend who sees how you handle stress, or a coworker who notices your work ethic, or like you were saying, a classmate who sees how you handle situations in your class, right? Or at your school. So self-control produces fruit that lasts, because it's rooted in God's strength, not our own. Oh my goodness. So when we practice self-control, we're really planting seeds that God can grow into something beautiful. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, practical ways to grow in self-control.
We got to speed this up because
let's get practical. Anyway, first, pray for self-control. It may sound simple. It's not that simple. It's like praying for patience. He will test it.
For sure.
It's an automatic test. You don't get no time to study, honey. Prayer is powerful. So ask God to help you in areas where you struggle. Be honest with him. He already knows. He just got to hear from you, because
yeah, absolutely.
Got to hear from you. Like, he already knows. Go like, oh, so you're struggling with it, but I'm gonna wait for you to ask me, because I can only give you what you want if you ask for it. You have to want it too.
You got that right. Yes.
Cup, you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I know I got it, but I can't pour from an empty cup.
Yep. Come on now. Yep. So after you pray for it, set small goals. Just set small goals. If you're trying to practice self-control, right? With your spending, for example, then start with a small goal. Like, don't think you're gonna be you're gonna be able to save half your income, because it's not gonna work that way. So maybe limit yourself to a certain amount per week, right? Small goals, they add up over time, and they help to build confidence. So success in small things leads to success in bigger things.
Right.
Just take a small step.
And another tip: surround yourself with accountability. Let me tell you something. My mother taught me something that I will never forget. She put the way she taught me how to get friends, like how is your true friends. If I can hold them accountable and they won't get upset, that's how she told me. She was like, if you can't, she said this about her. So I was like, yeah, I like that mindset. So I started going with it. Let me tell you something. My friend group only got smaller, but I don't mind. Like, I don't mind.
But it's the truth.
Like, my mom was like, if I can't hold you accountable, you can't hold me accountable, we can't be friends. If you can't tell me, look, listen, stop. Like, you're doing something stupid, completely stupid.
Right. Absolutely.
And and I should be able to handle that, because you're simply holding me accountable.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Like, I should be able to hold you accountable, and if I can't do that, honey.
Right. Exactly.
Bye-bye.
So finally, the last tip is to reflect on the benefits. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so remind yourself why self-control matters. Think
Mm-hmm.
about the positive impact it can have on your life, on your family, and even on your future. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so when we focus on the benefits, come on, it becomes easier to make choices that really do align with God's will. Yeah,
Right.
for sure, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, therefore, I want
Hmm.
to remind everyone listening that self control is not about perfection, it's progress. I
Yeah.
heard that in a movie. Each day, each decision is a chance to grow closer to God. Okay, you
Right.
guys? And to
Hmm.
live in a way that honors Him. And if you're struggling with self control, know that you are not alone. Right here.
Right. That's right.
God is with you. His grace is more than enough. So
Hmm.
today, make a commitment in growing self control and let God's strength be your foundation. And thank you
Yeah.
guys for joining us. And don't forget to like, share, tag, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Wisdom Girl Wise Women. Subscribe
Yeah.
to our YouTube at Wisdom Girl Wise Women. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah. And don't forget, next week, next Saturday, we're live again. And we're inviting some guests to Table Talk, okay?
Mm-hmm.
As we have conversations on gratitude. So we want you to be there. Don't forget, like Wisdom Girl said, tell somebody all about it. And we will see you. We will see you next week. All right. Bye bye, everybody.